If you're over 60 and believe that all vegetables are equally good for your health, I urge you to listen carefully today. As a colon doctor with decades of experience treating older adults, I'm genuinely shocked at how one particular vegetable, commonly considered healthy, can actually feed harmful gut bacteria and quietly disrupt colon health, especially in seniors. The colon, as you know, plays a vital role in your overall well-being. It's where water is absorbed, where waste is formed for elimination, and where trillions of microbes, collectively called the gut microbiota, live and work. This microbiota is a delicate ecosystem, essential for proper digestion, immune balance, and even mental health. As we age, the diversity of our gut bacteria naturally declines, leaving us more vulnerable to imbalances, a condition known as dysbiosis. Many seniors try to protect their gut by eating more vegetables, which is generally a good idea. But not all vegetables benefit the gut equally, and one vegetable in particular can actually feed harmful bacteria, tipping the balance in the wrong direction. That vegetable is corn, especially when consumed as processed sweet corn, canned corn, or corn-based products like cornmeal and corn flour. Why corn? First, let's understand its composition. Corn contains a type of carbohydrate known as resistant starch, which isn't digested in the small intestine and reaches the colon intact. While resistant starch can sometimes act as a prebiotic, fuel for good bacteria, the type of resistant starch in corn has been shown to disproportionately feed certain strains of harmful bacteria when consumed in excess or in processed forms. A 2019 study published in the journal Nutrients found that diets high in processed corn products can promote the growth of pathogenic bacteria such as Clostridium difficile, which is associated with inflammation, diarrhea, and serious infections in older adults. In contrast, fiber from leafy greens and non-starchy vegetables tends to support beneficial bacteria such as bifidobacteria and lactobacilli. Additionally, corn is naturally high in fructans and fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols, FODMAPs, compounds that are poorly absorbed in the gut and easily fermented by bacteria. For seniors with sensitive digestive systems or conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO, corn can trigger bloating, gas, discomfort, and promote a shift towards harmful bacterial populations. Let me share a real-world example. A 68-year-old patient of mine, Mr. P, came to my clinic complaining of chronic bloating and irregular bowel movements. He was making a conscious effort to eat more vegetables and told me that he was adding canned corn and corn tortillas to nearly every meal, believing this was helping his colon health. When we analyzed his diet and symptoms, it became clear that his high corn intake was fueling fermentation by harmful bacteria in his gut, leading to gas, discomfort, and irregularity. Once we reduced his corn consumption and replaced it with a variety of fiber-rich vegetables like spinach, carrots, and zucchini, his symptoms improved dramatically in just a few weeks. Another problem with corn is that many corn products consumed by seniors are highly processed. Canned corn, for example, often contains added salt and sugar, while cornmeal and corn flour lack the fiber found in whole kernel corn. Processed corn products break down quickly in the gut, providing fast fuel for opportunistic bacteria that thrive on simple carbohydrates. Over time, this encourages an unhealthy microbiota profile that can impair colon motility and even contribute to low-grade inflammation. But the issue isn't just about bloating and constipation. Emerging research suggests that long-term dysbiosis, driven by excessive consumption of certain carbohydrates like corn, may play a role in serious conditions such as colorectal cancer. A 2020 article in Gut Microbes highlighted how dietary patterns that promote harmful bacterial overgrowth are linked to increased levels of pro-inflammatory compounds and carcinogens in the colon. Seniors need to be especially careful because the colon's resilience declines with age. The mucosal lining becomes thinner, immunity in the gut weakens, and transit time slows, all of which mean that harmful bacteria have more opportunity to colonize and damage the gut lining when fed the wrong foods. So what should you do if you enjoy corn? The key is moderation and balance. Occasional fresh corn on the cob may be fine for most healthy individuals, but daily consumption of processed corn products, canned corn, or corn-heavy meals can tip the balance toward dysbiosis. It's also essential to ensure that your vegetable intake includes a diverse range of fiber sources that feed beneficial bacteria. Here are some colon doctor-approved tips for seniors concerned about gut health. Diversify your fiber sources. Include non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens, spinach, kale, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, and colorful veggies, carrots, bell peppers, that provide a wide range of fibers to support beneficial gut bacteria. Limit processed corn products. Cornmeal, tortillas, and corn chips should be occasional treats rather than daily staples, particularly for seniors with sensitive digestion. Watch portion size. If you enjoy corn, keep it to a small side portion and pair it with other high-fiber vegetables and healthy fats, which help slow digestion and balance the impact on the microbiota. Stay hydrated. Fiber fermentation requires water. Seniors should ensure adequate hydration to avoid constipation when consuming fiber-rich foods. Consider fermented foods. Adding natural probiotics from yogurt, kefir, or fermented vegetables can help maintain a healthy gut balance and counteract any disruption from less than ideal food choices. In summary, as a colon doctor who has cared for hundreds of older adults, I must warn you, this vegetable, corn, especially when processed and eaten daily, can quietly feed harmful gut bacteria, disrupt your colon's delicate balance, and contribute to bloating, irregularity, and more serious long-term gut health issues. The solution is not to avoid vegetables, but to choose wisely and understand that not all plant foods have the same effect on an aging digestive system. By diversifying your diet, limiting processed corn products, and focusing on vegetables that nourish the beneficial bacteria your colon depends on, you can maintain healthy digestion, reduce inflammation, and protect your gut for years to come. Now let's dive deeper into why this happens, what science says about it, and what practical steps seniors can take to protect their colon health. First, it's essential to understand the role of gut bacteria. Your colon is home to about 100 trillion microorganisms, forming a complex community that affects not only digestion, but also immunity, mood, and even how you process medications. In a healthy gut, there is a balance between beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria and lactobacilli, and potentially harmful bacteria like Clostridium difficile or Escherichia coli. This balance is critical for maintaining the integrity of the colon lining, producing essential vitamins like vitamin K, regulating inflammation, and preventing infections. However, certain dietary patterns can disrupt this balance. Diets high in simple carbohydrates, particularly from processed corn, have been shown to preferentially feed opportunistic bacteria that produce inflammatory compounds. A 2017 study in Frontiers in Microbiology found that high corn diets promoted the overgrowth of endotoxin-producing bacteria, which can weaken the gut barrier and increase systemic inflammation, a major concern for seniors whose immune systems are already more fragile. Let's explore why processed corn is particularly problematic. Unlike whole kernel corn, which contains some fiber and nutrients, processed corn products are often stripped of their fiber and ground into fine particles that are rapidly digested and fermented in the colon. This rapid fermentation produces excess gas, short-chain fatty acids, and sometimes even toxins that can damage the gut lining. Moreover, seniors often combine these corn products with other low-fiber, high-sugar foods, for example, cornflakes for breakfast, corn tortillas at lunch, or corn chips as a snack. This pattern repeatedly feeds harmful bacterial strains while starving the beneficial ones, leading to decreased microbial diversity, which has been linked to poorer health outcomes in aging adults. Another factor often overlooked is the impact of corn's natural sugars and mycotoxins. Corn is prone to contamination with aflatoxins, toxic substances produced by certain fungi, especially when stored improperly. While regulatory agencies monitor aflatoxin levels, small chronic exposures over time may pose a risk to gut health. A 2019 paper in Environmental Health Perspectives raised concerns about the effects of chronic low-dose aflatoxin exposure on gut barrier function and immune responses, particularly in vulnerable populations like the elderly. So, what can seniors do to break this cycle and protect their colon? First, swap processed corn for whole, non-starchy vegetables. For example, instead of cornflakes, try oatmeal or chia pudding. Instead of corn tortillas, explore whole grain wraps. Swap out corn chips for sliced veggies like cucumbers, bell peppers, or carrots with hummus. These alternatives provide a broader range of fibers, nutrients, and beneficial compounds that support gut health. Second, increase your intake of polyphenol-rich foods. Polyphenols are plant compounds that have been shown to promote the growth of beneficial gut bacteria while suppressing harmful strains. Berries, dark leafy greens, green tea, turmeric, and nuts are excellent sources. A 2020 review in Nutrients highlighted the role of polyphenols in shaping the gut microbiota and reducing inflammation, making them especially valuable for aging populations. Third, include fermented foods in your daily routine. Yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and miso are rich in probiotics, live microorganisms that can help restore microbial balance. Fermented foods introduce beneficial bacteria directly into the gut and have been shown to improve bowel regularity, enhance immune function, and even improve mood. A 2021 study in Cell demonstrated that diets high in fermented foods increased microbial diversity and reduced markers of inflammation in adults, including older individuals. It's also important for seniors to understand that small dietary tweaks can have big cumulative effects. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Even reducing processed corn products to a few times a month, rather than daily, can help shift the balance toward healthier gut bacteria. Let me share another patient case. Mrs. L, a 70-year-old woman, came to my clinic with complaints of excessive gas, bloating, and fatigue. She was eating healthy by her standards, a breakfast of cornflakes with milk, lunch with corn tortillas, and snacks of popcorn or corn chips. She wasn't drinking much water and rarely ate fresh fruits or vegetables. After explaining how corn-heavy diets can feed harmful gut bacteria, we developed a new plan: oatmeal or bran cereal at breakfast, whole grain wraps instead of corn tortillas, fresh fruit snacks, and a daily serving of yogurt. After 4 weeks, her bloating was reduced, her bowel movements were more regular, and she reported feeling more energetic. One more critical point: hydration matters. Fiber can only do its job when combined with adequate water intake. Seniors often underestimate their hydration needs, especially in cooler weather or if they're less active. I recommend aiming for 6 to 8 glasses of water daily, unless your doctor has put you on a fluid restriction. Herbal teas, broths, and water-rich fruits like watermelon or oranges can also help contribute to daily fluid intake. Additionally, seniors should be cautious with certain medications that can worsen gut health. Many common drugs, including proton pump inhibitors, NSAIDs, and antibiotics, can disrupt gut bacteria and damage the colon lining. Always discuss medication concerns with your doctor and never stop medications on your own, but know that your diet plays a critical role in protecting your colon while on these drugs. To summarize, here are the colon doctor's take-home recommendations for seniors. Reduce or limit processed corn products in your daily diet. Choose whole, non-starchy vegetables to increase fiber diversity. Add polyphenol-rich foods to support beneficial bacteria. Include fermented foods to boost microbial balance. Stay hydrated to support fiber function and bowel regularity. Stay physically active. Even light movement supports colon motility. Work with your doctor if you have digestive issues or take gut-impacting medications. Remember, your gut health is one of the most important foundations of your overall health, especially as you age. By making smart, informed choices, you can avoid feeding harmful bacteria, reduce inflammation, and improve your digestion, energy, and quality of life. As a colon doctor, I've seen firsthand how small, daily habits can either harm or heal. You don't have to give up every favorite food, but being mindful of what fuels your gut bacteria can be one of the most powerful tools you have to protect your health from the inside out.